pretty much, if you're not familiar with it, the whole concept of the game is two guys, they just punch each other until one of them doesn't want to be punched anymore. Which, for most people, should be none times. But for some reason, that's just the epitome of fun. Another thing that just really grinds my gears about it is the Pledge of Allegiance, you know? It's cultish, it's creepy. I think that instead of the Pledge of Allegiance, every morning we come in, we should sit down and watch Red Dawn. Because nothing, absolutely nothing is more patriotic than the movie Red Dawn. Except maybe, just maybe, the Oreo pizza. You know, I think a lot of people give hate to Red Dawn and movies like that because they say it's violent, and that's what's corrupting humanity. But nobody hated on the Daredevil movie because kids started chemically blinding themselves just so they could learn karate. It doesn't work that way. That's not why we hated on the Daredevil movie. We hated on the Daredevil movie because it was awful. Have you guys seen the Daredevil movie? Don't. They couldn't even afford like a real supervillain. They just have a dude who like throws things. That's just a drunk guy at a bar. That's not even a supervillain. It doesn't make sense. We got a bunch of great musicians here tonight. Everybody give a big hearty warm up applause once again to the Spyglasses.
Sea of Glass.
Sea of Glass. Sea of Glass. Yeah. There we go. You guys earned it. You deserve it. You know, music is beautiful. It gives soul and wings to life. You know, and it changes things. It changes the way we see things and we feel things. Like those commercials, you know, that you see on TV, where they got all the dogs and cats, and you got Sarah McLachlan in the background. Now imagine just for a second, if you will, if we change that song to the great American classic, Yakety Sax. We get the dogs and cats, we get them in funny costumes like Elvis and clowns, clown suits, astronauts, everything. I'm actually pretty excited because through Aspaca, I just adopted a tiger for 15 cents a day. Should be coming in any time soon. They had some weird options for stuff to adopt, like adopt a highway, but who wants to adopt a highway? What do you even do with a highway? You know, I watch a lot of TV, too much TV, and I see those infomercials that just come on at ass o'clock in the morning, like 3 o'clock where the world isn't really done loading yet, and just nothing really makes sense, you know, the ones where it's like, this mom is 50, but she looks 35 through Bronson and Bronson Skincare. You know, so I went to Bronson & Bronson and I tried their age removal cream and I just became a fetus. TV is good, but it has a lot of room for improvement, you know, like the show Little People Big World, you know? It's a great show. But you know what could make that show all the times better? Yakety Sax, once again. Have you guys forgotten Yakety Sax? Would you like to be reminded? And we said it to double time, so they're just running around, they're doing all the stuff they usually do, but it's Yakety Sax, they're driving around, they're doing yard work. It's awesome. I had a second idea for just something that can make TLC all the better, is we take Honey Boo Boo and we get rid of her. She does not deserve to be a thing anymore. She had her fun and can leave now. My favorite show has got to be the show In Search of Sasquatch, though. I just enjoy the mentality of watching people watch that show, because I come up real close behind them and I say, "Psst, spoiler alert, they don't find him." Because they never do. I mean, how can you expect to find out from a show like that? I mean, I think that Bigfoot and ghosts and God and aliens, they're all out there. We don't really deserve to know about them because we're terrible people. Like, I believe that at least more than one time, like, aliens have come down, they try to, like, have a conversation with us. They're like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And then the person just walks up like, "Swag, YOLO, 420!" And then the aliens just leave. Why have you done this? You've spoiled the gift of aliens for us, you know? They're just covered in tattoos and bro tanks. I think tattoos could be really cool, you know? Like, if they mean something, like, I might get a tattoo one day, like the Mike Tyson tattoo. Not the tribal face tattoo because tribal tattoos are for douchebags, but I want to get an actual tattoo of Mike Tyson's face on my face. So when people are walking around, they're like, oh no, don't mess with him. He's a tiny white Mike Tyson. Seriously. I was watching the news the other day. That's right, I do watch the news. Believe it. And they were talking about the cruise ship that people were stranded on for 5 days. Which, I was just thinking through the whole thing. That is the least horrible place to be stranded for 5 days. A cruise ship? Being stranded on a cruise ship is better than just being most places. Like a library or a Denny's. I mean, I just love to see the little kids who come off the boat finally just try to complain about it. It was awful. They had nothing but pizza and corn dogs. And the big SpongeBob mascot wouldn't stop dancing. I'm a fairly lonely person, in case you haven't noticed. I've started online dating, you know? eHarmony, Match, Black People Meet, Christian Mingle, Hebrews and Shebrews, Club Penguin, World of Warcraft. But my personal favorite site has got to be Farmers Only. But here's the twist. When you go to the site and open the homepage, they have a big logo at top that says, you don't have to be a farmer. So the whole premise of the site is really just, if you're a farmer or not a farmer, and are looking for a farmer or not a farmer, then come to farmersonly or notfarmersonly.com. You know? As a collective people, I think the biggest problem with, especially our generation, is we've lost our connection to humanity. And a lot of us don't have a good reason for that, but I do. When I was young, my mother and I, we went to New York City, you know, and I get off the plane, and I kid you not, you will not believe it, but I believe it because I was there. There's this midget, and this nun, and they were the same person. That's right, I saw a midget nun, and that just destroyed me as a person because nothing would ever amount to that ever again. Once you see a midget nun, nothing surprises you anymore. That's like seeing a unicorn and a leprechaun just as one thing. It doesn't make sense. It just spoils you as a person. Champion's lovely mother over here, she asked me to do a roast of Champion, but nothing about him is funny. It's just pathetic. But I tried. I gave it the good old college try, so here we go. Champion is so skinny that when people see him, they probably think he looks unhealthy. Champion dresses like a homeless man in the 1920s. But he can pull it off. Champion's teeth are so bad.
No, that's actually true.
He has terrible teeth, it's true. No. This is my show. This is a listening show. This is my time, not your time. But I love you, man, and I'm gonna need you up here for just a second. You know what's going down.
No, I don't actually.
Ba-ba-bum, bum, ba-ba-bum, bum, 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 ba-ba-bum, bum, ba-ba-bum, bum, ba-ba-bum, bum. When the night has come, and the land is gone, and the moon is the only light we will see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't shed a tear. Just as long as you stand by. So darling, darling, stand by me. Just as long as you stand by me.